Breaking news, the FCC launching an inquiry into AT&T and Apple over rejection of Google's voice app for the iPhone. We have a letter here that the FCC has sent to Apple Incorporated and the Vice President of World Government Affairs asking, why did Apple reject the Google Voice application for iPhone and remove related third-party apps from its App Store? Did Apple act alone or in consultation with AT&T? You never want a government official asking you, did you act alone? It's always bad. Does AT&T have any role in the approval of iPhone applications generally? And on and on. So clearly they're taking a very hard look at this situation. We were just talking about this with John Fort. But once again, we have this letter at the FCC taking an inquiry into why it is that Apple rejected the Google Voice application for iPhone and also removed related third-party applications for its app phone. Welcome back. We've got oil prices hitting new highs for the month. Energy prices shortcut this new bull market. Joining us now is Kevin Kerr, President and Chief Trading Officer at Kerr Trading International and proud oil speculator. Bill Smead is here, with Steve Grasso, Peter Schiff, and Dan Fitzpatrick are with us as well. Normally I would go to you, Mr. Kerr, first, since we're starting with oil. But Bill Smead, I want to ask you about this when it comes to Apple and the Google Voice app and their relationship with AT&T. Any concerns about this, or just a very active FCC, DOJ, White House, etc.?
I find it amazing. I started with a cell phone in 1989-90 and paid $500 or $600 a month. All I got was the chance to make phone calls to people and receive a few. Now I get all my home and work email, all my stock quotes, all my calendar.
And it's much cheaper.
And it costs me $97 a month. And I got 3 or 4 companies constantly begging for my business. I do not see any concept whatsoever of a lack of competition. And am I being hurt? It's about the best value I get in my life right now.
All righty. That's a good discussion. Let's now get to Kevin Kerr and the price of oil. It's been creeping up here, Kevin. What is going on with oil? And we're worried about it because it could short-circuit the rally if it starts to crimp the consumer.
Maybe we should blame the speculators for the Apple problem, too.
I knew that was coming.
Look, I'm not sensitive about this. Look, I've been talking about this all week with the whole talk of let's turn it all to speculators. It was all speculators. We're not focusing on the facts. That is, the weak dollar and real demand tied in with speculators as well. Look, I used to trade in the over-the-counter market. I'm all for more regulation and that these things should be transparent. But let's be serious. Free markets function best when left to allow everybody to participate and not to have false things put in place.
All right, Kevin is making reference to the fact that the CFTC is talking about imposing position limits, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of government intervention talk. Still, Kevin, where's the price of oil going? That's what I want to know.
Well, as we saw today, we are seeing the weak dollar push prices up, but we're also seeing demand pick up and also interest. Look, at the GDP was up. That means demand for energy is going to be going up. And the bottom line is people think America runs on Dunkin'. It actually runs on energy. The recovery is going to be based in energy. We're going to see prices continue to ratchet higher. Nothing is different, Michelle. A year ago when we got to $147, we had $90 of that based on demand. And so that demand is going to come back, and there's no new supply coming online. All these alternatives have been thrown aside. Nothing's changed.
What do you think is the commodity picture here and commodity-related stocks?
I think you can make money on commodities right now. I think you got to buy oil, buy Transocean, buy Diamond Offshore. As oil goes up, that's where a lot of the money is going to go. I like Tech Resources. I'm long that stock. It's really kind of almost a pure play on metals and China. Significant part of that company is owned by China. That's where the money's going to go.
Peter Schiff, that sounds like music to your ears, doesn't it?
Well, I own a lot of oil stocks, but I think oil's going up. It was up $2.50 today. It's
Why
just
is it
under
going
70. Up? Well, the dollar's going down. I mentioned earlier the dollar index hit a new low for the year today. The dollar was weak across the board against every single currency. I think it looks like it's breaking down. I think it's going a lot lower, particularly in the fall. I think that's going to push oil prices up. I think we have a shot above $100 a barrel by the end of the year.
Let's explain for the novice viewer why it is that when the dollar weakens, oil goes up. We are a very privileged position in the United States. Nearly every commodity in the world is bought and sold in dollars, regardless of where you live.
Sure.
So when the value of the dollar goes down, let me just do the didactic, please.
As the dollar
when the dollar weakens, the rest of the world sees the commodity cheaper vis-a-vis their ability to.
Well, an easier way to look at it, Michelle, is when we're buying oil and paying in dollars, as the dollar loses value, we're giving OPEC cheaper dollars. So oil prices have to rise to reflect the fact that we're paying in dollars of diminished value. And I think the dollar is going to lose a lot of value. And I think oil prices will hit $100 a barrel maybe before the end of the year.
So if we're all in agreement that oil is going north versus south at this point,
I'd like to disagree.
Bill,
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Why, Bill?
First of all, I love people in the investment world. The United States stock market goes down 53%. It rallies 45%, and they're screaming bear market rally. Oil goes from $145 a barrel down to 32, and it goes up to 73. And I haven't heard a single person scream bear market rally. I've been in the investment business for 29 years. I've virtually never seen the following 5-year bull market ever be led by the group that led the prior bull market.
Well, look
keep
at,
your
eyes open. It's going to happen.
The world is awash in oil.
There hasn't been any demand at this point.
Let me finish my point.
Once demand comes in, I thought that, not to be rude, but I thought that was your point.
Oil
it's
is
different
still
than we've seen in the past.
Oil is in a bull market now. Go back 9-10 years ago, oil was under $20 a barrel. Stocks are going down. The Dow is lower than it was 10 years ago.
Energy is the most crowded trade I think I've ever seen in my 29 years.
And it's going to get more crowded because there's no
alternative.
And Boone Pickens is always in the news at the top.
Mr. Speculator Kevin Kerr, thank you. Bill Smead, thank you. Dan
Thank you for having me.
Fitzpatrick, Steve
Long
Grasso,
speculation.
and Peter Schiff.